Okay, we should be good to go now, and everything should be good. Might peak a little bit. My volume was a bit loud yesterday, but at least it sounded a lot better than it has in the past. I'm not sure why. Give that one the credit it's due. It might be a Razer setting that I messed with at one point. Oh, it's because it's halfway on the stairs, halfway not. That's why. So now we finished up 2 of these yesterday. And to be fair, I put down a couple of others, so I might have to go in and see what the save settings are. See what's going on, because I have a suspicion some things are being just a little bit wonky. So if this works out how it did last time, I'm going to crash our power grid. Yep. Okay. Not the end of the world. I at least knew that was going to happen. We need to get another one of those built. Meant to needed to build a second power thing, which isn't too bad. I just, like, again, I'll have to take a look and see what's going on with the saving, because that's not how that was supposed to work. I'm not supposed to be having to redo a bunch of this, but it is what it is, and I'm not going to complain too much. Oh, and I need to double check if all the water things are still out there or not. They might not be. Ooh, okay. Wish I knew about how much content got. Didn't quite hit the save. I'll also double check to make sure that I manually, like, fully manually make sure it properly saves, reopen, and everything. For the next time I stream it, which will not be tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Assassin's Creed. Today is going to be a little bit shorter. I have college stuff that I have to do, and because it is technically online, it means I'm going to have to do some stuff online for that, for the day, meetings, getting stuff set up, that sort of stuff. So I can't be quite as long today. I did 2 hours, I want to do 3 hours today, and that is within the time frame. It gives me some time to get everything sorted after. So that's probably about what I'm going to shoot for. We'll see how that goes. If my voice decides to leave, probably not quite 3 hours. The planets in the distance look really cool. I feel like this is one of those games where if you could add villagers and there was a little bit more stuff that you could build with. Mind you, I don't know what all they've added. They've heard they have added stuff. I feel like it would be really interesting to see how many people end up doing, like, what would I call it? Roleplay servers. Because you need to have, I think, up to 12 people? 10 to 12 people on a server, I think. I wouldn't be surprised if eventually people figure out how to add more via mods. But, like, it'd be interesting to see people make, like, some sort of roleplay server. How am I one short? The super alloy. Okay, so same problem as last time. I need to grab just about one of everything. Then you need to go out and grab a silicone piece. There, yep. I'll need an extra iron piece as well. That's that. What else do I need? One more bottle of water. One more piece of iron. And just up here and out. I can put a second one down. And eventually I also have to... Oh no, a third down, that's right. This is number 3. Then you have to put a 4th down at some point. There we go. To be fair, I think that's a tier 2 and everything, so I think... Yeah, so most of this has been upgraded properly. Oh, I haven't rebuilt the grass spreader, that's right. That'll have to rebuild and put out there. What was I needed for it though? Because it was a couple specific things. No, actually just stuff I have. Okay. I just need more ice. Then I don't know... Is the drill still built? Yeah, the drill's still built. Okay. That's why I need to build a second generator, because of the drill. So we're not too far off of where we ended yesterday, just definitely a bit, and I'll have to figure out what I did and didn't do. Whoops. Gotta double check the saves. Yeah, general housekeeping that I meant to get to yesterday, didn't get to today. There is a stream coming up that is going to be a lot longer, and it's going to kind of be something different, and it's not going to be a scheduled one until I get it set up on the schedule, but it's not something that's going to be weekly either. It is a one-time thing, because it's something very, very specific to a game. So in Lord of the Rings Online, for anybody who knows the movies, you get the whole idea bringing the Hobbit all the way over to Mordor to go dump a ring in a lake volcano. That's a very tiny short synopsis. That is a very long journey. That is a very long journey in a game. Somewhere between 6 and 8 hours is what is suggested as how long it might be, like, it might take. It's going to be on Saturday the 20th, and it's going to be early for me. I'm going to have to get my behind out of bed a lot earlier than I want to. However, it is interesting enough to me to want to stream it, because it's going to be a large amount of players, and it's going to be something kind of... not really one time, but as close to one time as you can get it, because it's not something that happens very often. And I kind of want to document it, because it's... I mean, it's very interesting for a whole bunch of people to put this together. They've been putting it together for weeks, setting it up. I'm actually very excited to see how it'll go. I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, I have high hopes for how it'll go and everything. There is some logistic nightmares, because they're saying, hey, I have a higher level character, so a higher level character can go and do stuff, and even then they're going to be maybe at the right level for what's going on. I have to try to get them there. I'm really close. But the logistical nightmares that are kind of popping up are basically you're taking a lot of low-level players to a high-level level place in the game where if anything even looks at them wrong, they're going to get sent back to a appropriate respawn point way further back, unless the game devs step in. So I don't know what's happening there or anything that way, and I'm really interested in it. Either way, I think a lot of high-level players are going to complete the walk no matter what, which will still, again, be very interesting to see how it goes. I have plenty of purified water. Do I still have the tier 2 purifier? Yes, okay. So I kind of know that's been working. Yeah, vegetation, renewal, is what we're working on now. Biomass has just now been added. I need to find more of those seeds. Easiest way to do that one. Oh, I need to build more of the goo things, that's right. What do I need for those? Silicone and plastic pieces. we'll do 2. And then I'll get some more water and I'll see if I can find more of the... It seems like such a useless plant early on, but it really, really isn't. You use it for so much stuff after. See if I can find more of that particular plant, because I think the little rigs that I was seeing everywhere seemed to be a good spot to find that. And then this is just going to be storage for the toxic stuff, which works out here. I can always move them later, but basically just storage for that. It kind of needs to be closer to the base for now. I would like to kind of stick it under if I could, but I don't think I can and get it to work. Thankfully, these do not take energy. They're just storage. In you go. Grab some of the food I saw. Make a couple of water bottles, and off we go. But yeah, I'm actually really excited to see how that's going to go, and that'll be the 20th. Mind you, by early, I mean it is like 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time that they're going to start that meeting. I probably will be streaming 7:30 is the idea. And then it's going to be all day, and what I'm hoping, and I'm talking to my spouse about, because my spouse happens to play the game as well, they might co-host with me for the day. Basically, there's 8 hours of talking to do. And as much as I can nerd out for 8 hours, there is a limit to how much, especially when doing like a giant, like essentially journey to a whole other area of the game. So it's going to be just a little bit of a need help kind of keeping like topics and keeping going, and that way if I have to step away, because there is a way that I can basically put them on following game and they can kind of keep my character moving so I don't end up getting too far behind, that sort of stuff, because I mean, at some point you are going to have to BRB. It works out that way as well. It makes it a lot easier. So I don't particularly want to try to sit down for 8 hours without being able to get back up. Well, hello. Not quite the stuff I need as much as I would like to take it. Gotta do some priorities here. Ooh, I do want that though. Not really what I need, but I'll take it. The water I'll just take because, man, it is helpful right now. Gotta watch those numbers really quick. Aha. I'll gladly take that, though. I don't think I can commandeer you, can I? Man. It'd be nice if I could. But I should be able to get one built pretty soon. Okay, well, we're gonna do that, grab one more of these, and start heading back. Get out of the toxic goo field. And getting back to our base. I will say the scrap is nice because it gives me something to break down as needed, but the mild irritation at litter is every so often definitely making itself known. Is there anything I can put in here? I can drink one of the waters as much as I kind of don't want to get that blueprint. I also feel like it's going to take more fabric than what I have to make a chair, just so it looks a little bit nicer in the base at the desks. also have to decide the little house project that I was working on if I want to take it apart and move everything over here now. Because if I get it cleaned up, that is something I could absolutely do. This will get broken down once we get O2 eventually. Oh, you got tons of goo. Just goo storage. Oh, wow. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to deal with that. That is what the goo storage containers are for. Now that we have access to them. I do like these kind of flowery mushrooms. I think they're eventually going to be like trees or equivalent to trees. I do really like them though. I enjoy a fungi aesthetic. I wouldn't want to see this in real life because I would be very concerned, but I do really like the aesthetic. Like, especially for like sci-fi worlds. Ooh. Well, agility boots. I'm not gonna say that's a bad start for anything. What do I need for... Do I have some cobalt? I do not think I do. Nope. I'll have to go grab some really quick. Might need there should be plenty. There's a little box out in the distance that I might have to go and grab. What do I want to plant that? What do I have? Might be a better question. Let's do that, it'll work. I think it just takes a little bit to grow. Yeah, it's just gonna take a bit. These ones are working fine. Ooh. I think this is my first meteor drop on this side of the map. Yeah, I'm barely certain it is. Nice. It's actually very helpful. Okay, let's start doing this. And start picking up the rest of what is out and about, and then I'll go check what's being dropped. I don't know if it's super alloy? Fingers crossed though, that'd be really nice. To be fair, it might be generic resources. Resource drop, alloy drop. Nope, resource drop. I see the aluminum and I got a hit. That has been a hot second since that's happened. I guess it can actually 100% happen. You can get hit by the meteors. Oopsie daisy. Okay, I'll have to get some food when I get back. Mind you, that timer tends to last a little bit longer, so we're good. Just need to make sure I don't do that again. Okay, let's get over there, get these put away, get food, and then go get another batch to make a few trips, and then I can take everything down and apart and use it to make other things, thankfully. I might have to turn game audio down just a tad bit. Okay, that looks a little bit better on everyone's ears. mean, to be fair, I'm probably also very, very loud. And I gotta put those outside and these things. There we go. Put these things in here. I can resort those out later. Not ready yet? Okay, you're pretty close though. I think I have... Yep, stuff in there that works for now. Get a water bottle again. And go get another batch of that stuff and brought over. I think it's probably gonna take me 3 more trips. I don't think it'll take me 2 more trips. It'd be nice if it did, but I think it'll take me around 3. Ooh, this must be some of our flora that's starting to pop in. These little bushes. That'll be interesting to see what happens with it. Yeah, 3 more trips for all of the materials, including the stuff I'm picking up. That's what it's going to end up taking. Just have to break down the little building and everything. I wonder how our grass spreader is doing, but I'm not close enough to tell. It'll be interesting when we can start putting trees out here. Okay, let's put you in there. And go back. Yeah, that area is probably going to be the hardest to clean up, I think. Just based on what I think is the sheer amount of toxic goo there. Oh. Is there some caves? Ooh. I might have to go see if there's anything particularly in it. Kind of where that falling sand is gives me the vibe that there might be a cave over there, which... first maps absolutely loved caves because it generally meant that there was something rare or just like a resource that's a little bit harder to find. Of course, there's some story tie-in, that sort of stuff, but resource-wise, really nice. I don't know if they're going to do any story tie-in with the caves in this one. I'd be a little bit more surprised. But I have enough oxygen, enough water. Less enough of the, stay a bit longer in the goo stuff so that I can possibly go find out in case it's, a bit toxic inside of the cave. It's probably reasonable to assume it is. Oh, hang on. Didn't work as well. Aha! Now I can do vehicles. Okay, that's probably going to be the... We need to stop and do that one really quick, because it'll help a lot. Also means I'm going to have to do an iridium hunt. That's a little bit less fun. Yeah, let's go turn the stuff I have in, and I can go do that. Because I'm fairly certain I have the super alloy, or at least I can build the super alloy really quickly, because I can get aluminum a lot easier now to get that built. I have one super alloy, I've got aluminum, so yeah, I can definitely get that built. I just need to figure out if I can get a iridium rod built. That's going to be the more problematic factor. Because I know there's iridium up here, but I don't know if there's another place where it's naturally occurring outside of that just yet. And I need 9. There might be 9 here. There's at least one over there if I can't find more here. Is it just kind of out and about out here? I think so, okay. So yeah, we definitely should be able to get 9. Nope, wrong key. I have 5 so far. I know there's a 6th up here. And then over here, around this, there's some. A little bit in the infested area, or not infested, toxic area. There you go, that's 9. That's what I need for that. To be fair, I have a little bit of space. Just out of curiosity, I want to head towards that cave area. And see what I find. At least I'm thinking it's a cave. Can't get into this one unless I clear some stuff, can I? I wonder if it might be worth going in here to see if there's any alleyway. Oh no, I can get in here, okay. Oh. Okay, so I'm gonna be used for these again. Now those I recognize. Really what I was expecting to find, because normally they're used for buildings that need power for story progression. Meaning there's going to be something similar. Okay, so it's not very... It's a bit underwhelming as far as the cave goes, but it works. I just don't think there's actually any storage to be really had around here for the most part, but I did find that. We have that. We got some more fabric. I'll take that. And the 300, because that's going to help. Now we can head back and kind of deal with what we have. And then I think I have to do some storage upgrades for the vehicle as soon as I can, so that when I'm driving it around it has more storage. It's basically just going to be a bit of, like, mobile air for a while, which will be helpful, plus extra storage. It'll make cleaning the areas just a little bit quicker. I'm assuming I picked up pretty much everything in this. Kind of, but not quite. Okay. I'll have to start cleaning those up landscape-wise later. Oh yeah, I'm seeing more and more of the little plants pop up. Oh, and we got some rain. Okay, there we go. So I need rocket engines, uranium, I got the fabric. I'm gonna need a lot of stuff, okay, but the rocket engines are gonna be the first thing. And I think it's gonna be easier to find them at first versus actually trying to build them. I think the cost for building them is pretty high. Yeah, they cost a lot to build. It's a 400 multiplier, so what I'll do is switch that out. You're 300%, so let me see if anything outside needs a quick switcheroo. Yeah, that'll help a little bit. Biomass is still going up a bit, so that's a start. I don't have the particular things needed for it, but not bad. Okay. Probably need another oxygen bottle to take with. Pick up a couple of cobalt. And start kind of exploring these rigs again and seeing if I can find anything else, but I also need to kind of explore this direction because I haven't yet. And I have no idea what I'm going to find. I wonder if this is still technically acidic rain or not. Can I build that yet? Ooh, I think I can. Yeah, I can now. Finally. Sweet. Okay. So it needs... titanium? No, not titanium. Aluminum. I can actually break that down with that. I think I'm gonna need 2 more cobalt. Then I'm gonna need another aluminum, because basically I'm just gonna have to build a piece of super alloy. Yeah, okay, so do that. Am I missing anything? No. Perfect. No. Well, that went well. We've tanked it yet again. Okay, time to go find sport uranium. Maybe eventually I will stop running out of power by overloading the power grid, but apparently it is not today. Is there still more around here? Oh, there's a waste barrel. Yep, there's some there. So a little hope. God, that bright green actually hurts my eyes just slightly. Because I haven't been around this game in a while and I haven't looked at that particular color. Grab as much as I can before I head back, that way I've got a little bit of a supply. Actually, I just have enough for 1 rod. Not really much extra this time around. Let's to get particularly lucky. I think there are other places with it as well. Well, I don't like it when the music decides to cut out. That's a little bit, just a little creepy. Oh, thank you. I do need that. Those are fine for now. Let's start heading back. Oh, here's a couple of extra pieces. Here's some extra at least. I don't think it'll be another rod's worth of extra, but I might need stuff that isn't quite the uranium rod, so that'll help. Now I'm gonna have to Google later if there's actually a reason to have uranium depicted as green and iridium depicted as red. Like, if there's an actual reason for that, or if it's just kind of one of those, hey, we wanted you to be able to tell at a distance which is which. Instead, I think I need water, which I have, and I need super alloy. I need 2 more titanium. Cobalt, 2 more cobalt. One of those. I'm not going to quite have enough space for all this, but I can actually drop it just in front of the crafter. And give me a little bit more space. I sadly can't use the water just yet, though, as much as I want to for myself. I have to wait for when that produces some. Because I'll have to go hunt down more ice. Okay, let's go grab some silicone. Good news, there is plenty here. Okay, so we got those 3 pieces of it. Oop. Is that everything I need? Yes. Okay, do you have everything aside from 1 more piece of iron? So there's number 4 already. And I do need to work on the solar panel hill, I think, at some point. There we go. Perfect. Put those in there, start everything. Try to be patient for that water really quick. Doing okay on food. I should see if I can harvest these, though. Speaking of which, what do I need to make more of them? Okay, actually fairly easy to make. I don't know how long it takes it for it to get 1 bottle of water. A little bit at least. I can go check the drill before we get too ahead of things and see how it's doing. We might be getting... Yeah, it's full. Okay, well, I need to build some storage. Eventually it'll get one that has even nicer storage, which will be really, really convenient. Nope. Let's line that up just a bit better. Grab some of the more common materials, because I can sort stuff in there. That works for now. Gives me plenty of storage. Let's see how we're doing in that water bottle. I don't want to have to build another one of these just yet, but I'm probably going to have to build a second one here pretty soon. But I want to find another one of the rocket engines for that if I can. I think I probably have majority of the other stuff I need. You need 2 fabric, but I need 1 fabric for that. Sadly, I think eventually I can turn something like this into fabric, which would be nice. What one do I have? Okay, I have 3. Now he's trying to build that currently, if I already have it. Ooh, inventory increase for vehicle. Yeah, we need to work on that a bit. If I remember right, that technically stalls everything when it's not working as well as it could be. Inventory is fairly empty, so let's go work on cleaning one of the spots. As much as I want to explore the other direction, we'll work with this direction first. Nope. The little tiny patch of grass that has some issues loading in. It's doing its best. It is very much doing its best. I think this is where we were cleaning. And the majority of it was clean. We just had a little bit left to go. Yeah, like 10 more spots to go. Perfect. Okay, that little spot's cleaned up. We got some over here, but I don't know if it'll count for the last 7. Oh, maybe. Is there some on top of here? Okay, these might be the last 3. Yep. Okay, nice. Well, we've got this cleaned up. Do that. Take a look in here. I don't know what that one is. That one's new. I must have missed it the first time going through here. Rocket engine parts, perfect. Plenty of microplastic and stuff I don't have a need for just yet. Another one of those, though. But again, I don't know how I missed that the first time, but we have it now. Again, I'm just trying not to take stuff I don't 100% need. At least not right away. Oh, wait. I'll take a real quick check for uranium because I'm still going to build a iridium rod, I think. Or something, maybe? Yeah, grab those. And then I need to do one of these, and we can skedaddle back so that I don't end up not doing so well in the wasteland because I ran out of oxygen. Okay, yeah, so we got some uranium. Let's go back and see what else I need for the vehicle, because I have the fabric, and I think of a majority of the other stuff, it was just that I needed the rockets. They were going to be the tricky part. Okay, inventory's full. We can't quite pick any more of that up as much as I want to. Not the end of the world, thankfully, but still a bit of a pain. Good news, I just have to drop off the goo, and then I can grab the other stuff and figure out what I need for the vehicle. The upgrades are going to be the problem. I should have at least a small amount of inventory space to begin. Well, fabrics, then I'll figure out what else I need. Hopefully I have just about everything. Iron and silicone. Okay, that is not hard. There should be plenty around. You see the piece of silicone already, and iron should be somewhere nearby as well. I think I see a piece. Yep, there's some iron. Perfect, okay. Now we can just go over there, build that, and take a look at upgrades. I know that's going to be the less fun part. Aha, there we go. Okay, equipment increase. I need super alloy and silicone. Might as well just build the super alloy. I just need a piece of iron, which I think that is, and a piece of aluminum, and we should be good to go on that. And then the other pieces I think I had, it was just silicone and magnesium, maybe? I actually stuck on one thing, I forgot the other thing. That I needed... I need the aluminum. My store's running a little bit low, but I know I can get some pretty quickly. Let's see, hopefully that's everything. So we have an equipment increase. Yep, nice. And storage, do I have any? I do. It's basically double the inventory space. Now is this doing water? Hopefully there's about 2. Ooh, there's 3. Perfect. Okay, turn in some of the ore, and then I can go from there. If you do the other side and get this over to this side, eventually I'll have it all nice and planned out and it'll look pretty with named things, but for now, have to wait just a little bit. Okay, out of curiosity, which one do I have? Nope, nope. Oh, this is kind of like stripes? I think I kind of like the other one I have better. I'll make a thing specifically for them, like a chest just for those things. Because I will be getting plenty more in time. I say I don't think those are quite ready yet. You never know, but I don't think so. Yep, they're not. Let's use this then, and see about cleaning up an area. Oh, I forgot how interestingly these move and steer. I'm laughing as a little tow hook on it. I don't think we can tow anything just yet. That and the fact that there is an unstuck option is still absolutely hilarious to me, because these things do get stuck quite badly. Now, to be fair, I'll have to move it. And it might not currently have an oxygen supply connected. That might be something I have to worry about adding later. Those, but I don't really need them for the second. There's a lot of stuff that I'll definitely clean out later, I just don't have a use for it the exact second. Which means I don't want to waste space on it just yet. See about getting more of this. There's 25 patches of goo. Okay, not too bad. It could be way, way worse. I forgot what one of them had a number of, but it was pretty high. We definitely have had bigger areas of it. Ooh, bioplastic. Haven't seen that one in a second. More goo up here somewhere. Yeah, it's kind of where I was thinking it would be, but maybe not? How big is this area technically? Okay, relatively. I probably should have drove over. Let me get these cleaned up, see what's in here, and then I can drive back over. Okay, plenty of the ones I just have already. Ooh, okay. We're starting to get our fuses. Okay, I'm gonna need to go grab the vehicle. So I've got a little bit more space. There's a type of crystal that, now that we're getting vegetation, should start popping up here pretty soon, that I'm going to need to actually go out and do a gathering run of. Oh, they worked interestingly, but it'll do for now. As long as I don't get turtled, we are good. Got a little interesting spot up there. Plenty of aluminum again. I do really like the plants right now, and I do need to put a lot more out. I need to also think about putting more energy stuff down. Yeah, we'll make it open, sadly. That's also just kind of permanently closed. Use another oxygen bottle really quick. Glad I caught that when I did. Anything up here that I need to be worried about? When I don't get stuck on this. Nor the hiccups, apparently. They're also making themselves known. I only got about... That might have been my last spot. Yeah, inventory full. Okay, now to head back and unload everything. We've done pretty good so far with it. Also feels like our oxygen bar is going down just a little bit slower than it was before. And I don't know if it's because of the plants. It could be. The car sound is quite the interesting dilemma. Okay. Grab just the goo first, because then I can just stick it in there. Everything else I will have to separate out a little bit. Plants can probably be grabbed first, maybe? Oh, you think it just auto gave me the plants first because it took it off the bottom? Okay. Well, let's go put the plants inside. Oh, hang on. I don't want to put it in there. I want to put it in a different one. And that can kind of go in there. I don't get a lot of bioplastic just yet, so I can be put in there. Take those out to make some room. That's going to be put into another grass spreader for a bit, because I don't have the rocket launcher just yet on this side. Uniforms can go there until I can get something else put together for it. And this can go here. Gotta grab what else is in there. We at least have 2 more rockets. That makes 3 for us, I think. You're going to be needing plenty of those. Then... Oh, not the aluminum. And go in there. Okay, what do I need for another one of these? It's a super alloy, it's gonna actually be the problem. Okay. That I pretty much actually have everything for. I wouldn't say it's the necessarily 100% best use of it, but it's a use that does work really well. For getting some of our biomass up, because we're going to need that for later. think it also boosts our oxygen as well, which is nice. Yeah, we're almost 60% of the way through plants. It's not bad at all. Tell me what else I want to focus on other than just getting some more iron, getting some stuff set up, getting more storage. Since we're kind of using this side of the map for a bit. Mostly just because it has more stuff. All these can go in here for now. Utilize one of those. Grab our water. Yep. Yeah, these make more oxygen in a second. 2 silicone apiece, okay. That's over that for 3. Oh no. I have stickers on my windows for birds, and I think one still ended up giving my window a smack. Oof. Yes, if you get new windows or you have, like, you're one of those people who keeps your windows absolutely spotless, please put stickers on your windows. You'll at least not have birds smacking into them at random times. I'm gonna do 3, okay. And we will see how that is looking now. Oh, that number is actually moving a bit faster than I was expecting it would. Purification's the one that really needs to start scooting again. So let me figure out what I can do. Can I run something that's going to be 60 a second? That would be a no. Not unless I make another one of these. And until I get rid of the hiccups, oh my goodness. I need 3 iron. I think I'd used earlier, so I don't quite have any on hand. This is all titanium, so I need to find some more iron. There's a piece, and now I just need 2 more. Well, technically 4 more. If I want to build a little bit more on the little area that I'm putting it in. If I don't end up moving it outside the base and kind of putting it in its own thing. We'll try that mount. At some point, it'd be nice to have it kind of in its own building, but that's a bit harder to do. Because I can essentially put it anywhere on the map as far away as I want. So I could make a, like, designated area for this stuff, and I might have to later. But in doing so, it's going to cause issues, because it would mean I have to break it apart, move it, and then, like, mess around with it. Okay, now to build the super alloy. If I need... Nope, I have 1 iron short. I had mathed right originally and then mathed wrong when I actually was like, oh wait, no, I don't need 1 more. I do in fact need 1 more. Okay, we got that. And otherwise, we have everything else. Okay, we need... I could technically build about 2 water purifiers, but that might be pushing it just a bit. If I can build 1 of the big ones, I'll be happy. What do I need for that, though? That was the tricky one, right? Okay, so I need that. Is it that I need? It is. I just need some plastic and a piece of tungsten. And I know the pond I can go into because there's such a big reservoir over here that I can just stick it into. And I do need to collect the other ones as is anyways. Then I need to go check the drill and see how much iron I have so I can just work on getting storage made, but it also means I'm probably going to expand that building as much as like, oh yeah, this is only going to be the biolab. No, it's just base 2.0 right now. Yeah, 32 out of like 125. We still have a ways to go before that is ever fully cleaned. I mean, at some point it eventually will actually be like clean, but yeah, it's gonna be a bit. I can leave 1 because I think I can grab a whole bunch of uranium here, which is going to be very helpful here pretty soon. Ooh, there's some aluminum here. At least can put stuff in the vehicle, though oxygen-wise, might have to wait on that. At least you have the water bottle here, and the goop. Piece of uranium. Because then I can go take that back, put it in storage, and I'll have it for later. Sandstorm or meteor? Looks more just generic sandstorm. We haven't changed colors too drastically, where I'm actually thinking that it'd be a bit of a meteor shower. Is always a worry, but thankfully not too bad right now. That's a bit funky. Definitely not how it's supposed to be. That is container 2 most of the way full. That's my entire inventory. I want that taken in, and then I need to really quickly BRB, let the doggos out, and then I will be right back. Let me actually go let them out. So I will just be back in a bit. We'll see how long today's stream is. It might be a 2-hour stream. I am already, like, a bit tired. I don't mind the shorter streams. It's okay for this game. I feel like there's other games where I can put more time into. This one, as much as I love it, as much as I want to take more time into it, is a little bit harder. I am actually tired, which I was not expecting. At least not this quickly. But Darkos have been let out. They have been told that they cannot commit crimes on the Christmas tree, or they will go back in doggy jail. They normally behave with the Christmas tree, but every so often we suddenly find an ornament somewhere where it's not supposed to be. Okay, so 73. Purification has popped up. Sweet. Some of it's just needing to actually go out and clean things. And Dev can be a little lazy about it. We were cleaning in that one area. Oh shoot, what I should do is gather a bunch of cobalt and make oxygen bottles because I don't have that. And if I go to do a bunch of the cleaning and I'm not paying attention, that's not going to work very well. The water at least have more of now because the thing to gather it. Hello, Cece. Would you like to say hello? No, not today. No hellos. You don't want to say hello? I imagine one of the doggos does currently, but I don't really want them and Cat in the room at the same time. Normally they do fine. But she will slap the dogs because she can. Not because it's warranted, by any means, but just she can. So it's fun for the cat to smack the dogs for whatever reason. Do not chew on my cords, please. It is not very nice kitty things. She goes, if you're going to talk about me on video, I'm going to chew your webcam cable. See what you think of that, human. Okay, where were we cleaning? I think just up there. Yeah, we have 5 more, so that's not bad at all. Then this area is clean, then we gotta find the next area. Maybe this is like a little refueling station? Like cargo depot, but also refill? Or refuel? Kinda hard to tell. I can't get back up there now, which is even funnier, actually. But we got the area cleaned up and finished. I think we're still back out that way. Yeah, technically 17% done as far as these areas getting cleaned up is wild to think about, meaning there's so many more areas, or at least some of the areas are going to be huge as far as the amount of stuff. I think we've had a couple areas that were very, very large as well, though. What is this? Huh. Maybe originally for water? I can't tell. Some of these are entirely mysteries when I see them, like... Oh no, maybe kind of like a quarry type station? I'm gonna say maybe quarry. Or like mine. now that I can see a bit more of like what's going on. Anything in there? Nope. Plenty more of that though, and there's one here. Oh, there is something in here though. Not more food to be fair, which is helpful. A little bit of super alloy, which again is very helpful. Yeah, it's the 200% multiplier, so I'm not so worried about grabbing that plant as I am some others. Asteroids? Maybe? Maybe not. I'm not really hearing anything that's hinting to that just yet. Okay, inventory is full, so let's back out of here. 149 to pick up. That is a lot. Okay, so this is one of our biggest areas. Meaning also it's probably one of our story dialogue areas. We're gonna get a bit more info here. But 149. I'll take the tungsten for sure, and that. Yeah, 149, and we have 10 out of it. Whoa. That is an amount. Not bad. It is something that's like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. It'd be maybe one of the heavier contaminated areas. This might be the actual drilling area. I don't think so, though. So again, it does make sense. Another chest. Legible super alloy. That fills up that one. I'm assuming this is more of a mining area. I am liking some of the different little buildings I can see. Like different colors and stuff. That is something I hope we do eventually get. Like a little bit more customization for how buildings look or colors. I have a little bit more inventory room. Not much though, so won't be able to pick up much. Like this sort of stuff I kind of understand why we can't make it, and that's fair. But like this building up here that's got like the lettering on it and that sort of stuff, that would be really interesting to make. Oh. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, like that elevator piece. That's also really nice. That'd be something to be kind of interesting to be able to make and have for customization for your builds. Because you could do builds that take it or require it, like this little bathroom would be nice to have as something you could build. Just for like little bits of ambient storytelling, that sort of stuff. Like it works so well in this for ambient storytelling, but it's stuff that I'd also like. Oh, we got fabric. Yeah, like the little cooking range and like the sink and all this. That sort of stuff would be really, really nice to be able to have ourselves. Okay, that is everything I can pick up for the second, so let's start heading back. And I have enough fabric, I think, actually for a chair. So I can finally build a computer chair for the desks, so they don't look a little bit too out of place. I might get shelving built today, I might not. Oh yeah, there's tungsten here, so maybe it is just the tungsten mine for stuff? Because they were saying they were using tungsten for stuff. let's get back. Oh, I kind of do want to know what's in here. Well, I'll grab the tungsten at least. Yeah, I do feel like there is a little bit more of the mushrooms slowly growing and kind of popping up. I might have to take on that area next, because that one that I was just at is way too big. Like, legitimately far too big to deal with as much as I was trying to. Oop. Yeah, most of these vehicles I think that I'm seeing are fully upgraded too, because I see kind of like the beacon attachment. I see some of the other attachments, like this one I think I can have 2 passengers on. I think you can switch it out for storage maybe, or add storage to the sides. I don't think you can build any other larger ones for passengers. Oh, that's full. That one isn't, though. Oh, it's one off of being full, though. We're going to build more until I start breaking it down. I also don't want to delete it. Kind of have a feeling we're going to be needing it for some stuff later on, and it is, again, sadly a limited resource. Mostly sadly in the sense that it means you actually have to think about whether you need to hoard it or not, whereas other times you might be like, oh, I didn't need to hoard that. Now you do. Okay, I need some iron. Which I apparently am fresh out of. There'll be some out here somewhere, though. I want to grab one here before I grab stuff out of the drill, because the ones at the drill I want to use to make storage for resources. But I might have to go find one in there. Depending if it's being a little bit more scarce currently around here, because I've picked up the majority of it. Oh, here's a piece. A lot further out than I expected I needed to head out. But it works. Yeah, a little freshwater pool again. Plenty of those. I think it's gonna be something that I'll deal with later because I'm able to see it, and it seems to pop up in a way that's very visible. What? I do not know. Okay, let's just mouse well up. There we go. %90 of the way through the vegetation renewal, or 98% to it. Those there, put those there, and then plants go where the plants go. And is there any other furniture I can build? Not with one fabric. Okay, let me check out containers. Grab everything from the drill and see what I can do container-wise. I think a bit at least. Especially if I end up just building... Okay, let's start with putting this all in here. 2, 1, 2, 3 titanium, 3 iron. Do I have? I do. Is it just 2 I need? It is. Alright, well, I can take that. And put this up here. Because what I can do later is build the stairwell. So it's a bit useless for now because I can't really do anything with it. But once I get the stairwell built, I should be able to do something with it. And that'll act as a kind of different storage area. But for now, what I think I can do to get away with what I'm thinking is use one of these. Yep, perfect. Okay, because then I can take some iron, put that there, go over here, take these out, and then put them in here. So they've got their own designated little area. That's good. Start this a bit. What do I need for these? Iron and cobalt mostly, but that's not a problem because now we've got the binding rig that I need to actually utilize a bit more than I do. How much does it cost to run it? A second. Enough that it might be not wise to make a second. Gotta think about that one. Because I'm already kind of letting it sit there to begin with. Put that there for now. It's probably not going to be its permanent location by any means. But it works for now. Can't see over here, grab that. Get a couple pieces of cobalt so I get like at least a few windows in. Here's the iron I didn't find when I was looking the other time. What about those? Okay, that's actually just takes titanium. And plenty of the cobalt. Basically until I get an actual house-based area, or house built, because I do want to build one. This will work as kind of a sort of living quarters on this base, whereas the other ones, the quote-unquote living quarters, is so close to it. When I was worried, like, just a little bit of ambient storytelling, because I feel like it does need it. It adds to it, doesn't really subtract to it, or from it. Okay. Need a couple more cobalt. About 3 more and 1 iron. Otherwise, I think I've just about got it. Yeah. Nope, that's silicone, not what I'm needing. There's 1, 2, and a third. And I think there's some iron there. Yes, perfect. Okay. Now to go bring all this back and actually put it into the build. We have a little living quarter situation for now. I don't think currently I can build a little thing that's just meant for the suits. As interesting as that would be. Yeah, unless I add a couple more there. Or, the other way I could do this, there's not really much silicone on that side. Put them on this side. And then I'll just have to actually get furniture up here set up. And this is just temp until I can get the stairwell. But for now, works quite well. Let me go get more stuff out of the drill, see if I can get enough cobalt to make oxygen bottles. Make a couple at least take with me and work on one of the smaller areas to clean up instead of the one I just tried to tackle. Because that's going to take a lot of trips with the vehicle and is kind of not really starting from the best point. You have 2 at least. That gives me 2 more. My eye is not happy, apparently, about strain playing this game for whatever reason. Normally not an issue I have, today I'm having it. Could also be because I kind of have the curtains open and it's been one of the few days it's actually been kind of sunny. Question mark? Like, it's not really sunny, but it's been really dark and raining, so maybe a little bit of light overload for once. Tab, yeah, I've got everything I need for that. I should be straight this way, give or take. Oh, I do like those flowers. Ooh. Okay, the flora for this DLC is really nice. I wasn't expecting it to be as, like, eye-catching as it is, because in some of the other ones it was kind of like, okay, yeah, you've got flora, and it's very, not basic, but it isn't, like, very, like, space vibes. It kind of was like, okay, yeah, it's a bit space, but also just not. This is very much like, okay, yes, this still has the mushroom vibe to it, but also, like, these are flowers, but they're just so much bigger and so much taller, and still, like, you can kind of get the vibe of being somewhat with, like, mushrooms with it. Like, it's definitely flora, but it's still kind of like, okay, it kind of has little aspects to it that are very mushroomy. Oh, this was such a small spot to pick up stuff. Okay. It's actually not bad at all. I'm assuming some of it's inside? No? On top of the mushrooms, maybe? Well, there's iridium up here, which is kind of funny. Down below. Oh yeah, down below. Last one? Yep. Perfect. Go drop those off. Yeah, even these are like more tropical or more like definitely more hot weather plants, which also makes sense to an extent. I think the next one to clean up is over here. I don't know if I've gone over here and checked out what's here. Oh yeah, there's kind of like bushes or like... Yeah, they're kind of like a bush or a tree. You see, this I kind of thought was also more mushroomy, but it's kind of more like a... meant to be kind of like a bush. Oh, there's no toxic stuff over here, but is there anything worth picking up? That is. That definitely is. Anything else? That stuff, but not really much else. I don't know if there's any other small areas for stuff unless I go the other direction. Like, not that way, but out past kind of the first pool that I cleaned up. Because I really have not explored that way at all. I think there's stuff out that way, past that station. It does look like it kind of continues on. How far, what I'm going to find, I have absolutely no idea, but it does look like it does extend. Now if I drop my stuff off, get a little bit more oxygen, and then I can kind of head out. Yeah, these bushes are kind of just like growing all over the machinery. Yeah, those are getting bigger. It took me a bit to be like, I can't tell if they're getting bigger and they are actually like the trees. But the longer I've kind of looked at them, it's like, okay, I know they are definitely getting bigger. And I still think they're more of a mushroom than flora, possibly. Or kind of a mix of the two. Deposit all that. Go in here. Deposit. Whoops. Not everything. I do actually need a majority of that back. Need to eat a squash or something. I think it's beans. They give the most? Yep. Beans do seem to get the most. Okay. Let's drive out the other direction and see what we find. Because I know one little structure to the left, but I don't know what's out towards the right. Am I seeing little bits of ore on those mushrooms, or is it kind of no, it's just kind of the way they've stylized it. Hey, we found another area. And a biodome? Oh, this one's 45. Yeah, this one's gonna take a lot more to clean. Okay, that's that chunk done. I do want to go over here and see what's over here. I can't quite get up there, darn. Definitely what looks like some rockets, maybe? There's a pristine mushroom for later. At least now they're going to be here. Any chance if I get in there? Oh, no. Okay, I have to head out and drop off stuff first. Can't quite make that jump. Because if I get in there, I'm hoping there maybe is the thing where I can reset the amount of time I can spend in the toxic area. Do an oxygen bottle. There we go. Because if I get up there, there's definitely going to be some plant-based stuff, maybe? I'm going to really want... Oh, there's some labs up here, too. Oh, these are like... Oh, so this must be like, the lab for the actual biological stuff where they were planning on how it was going to go before it didn't go as planned, is my guess. It's the first time I've ever seen one of those open, and for some reason that is mildly concerning. I kind of don't like that. Ooh. Okay, we get our first taste of tokens. So we're going to be able to do that at some point. Oh. Okay, we got some posters. We're sure we can trust Sentinel Corp with this kind of research. I'm glad they're funding us, but I find it hard to believe their true motives. Who would want to go to a desert planet and try to terraform it? All alone, no less. Their brief seems more interesting in the economic aspect than the well-being of the famous colonists. I'm not even sure if we'll be able to develop the technology needed to terraform an entire planet anyways. Oh. Okay. Nope, I have spent too long. We need to skedaddle out of here. That's not the right direction. This is the right direction. I forgot to watch the bar I needed to watch. Wait, no, this is not the direction. But this is a safe space. This one's not infected. Oh. Do those. Might be some food in there. I'm waiting for the day the game surprises us with, hey, by the way, there's actually still people out here. Have fun. And we end up having to deal with NPCs. Because I think, to be fair, that'd be mildly terrifying. Ooh. I do want that because that means I can grow it. Oh, an exercise bike. That's so funny. This is a house. Legal release. I hereby consent to participate in the Planet Crafter program as a first colonist. I certify that I'll do everything necessary to terraform the planet on which I land using technologies at my disposal and the resources available there. I understand that the condition of my current sentence has been modified accordingly. Okay. We don't have a year attached. Okay, that's one I don't have. They are all making me nervous. I see both sides as equally bad. I'm glad a research center is here, isolated from them all. I'm glad I chose to work on this program, but I would have preferred to work elsewhere, even though I understand now why they decided to make us work here. So maybe the first colonist, art nerd, with somebody is the vibe I'm getting. Like, they've been here long enough that they eventually sent more people and they've, like, gotten into a relationship or something somehow. I mean, this is just cool. I like this setup. If this is how the internal stairs work, I'm kind of hoping that there's some walls I can get, or something similar to kind of what the setup is there, because that's a really nice, like, setup for that. But it's so reminiscent of, like, a very basic starter base, which I think is the idea, because you're supposed to be like, okay, yeah, that's the first colonist on this planet. Followed by what I'm assuming is now you've got the research labs, and now they're going to bring people in to man them and do the research, so then you've got more people suddenly showing up. And you're watching what would be considered a success in one of your other playthroughs kind of go wrong or turn sour a little bit here, I think is kind of the vibe I'm getting that they've gone for. At least that's kind of what I'm guessing part of this is. Like, okay, now you've got... Sentinel Corp has always kind of been like, they're a bit off. You're kind of stuck dealing with them, but they're a bit off. Like every the main story and the DLCs, you just kind of find out that they don't have your best interest in mind repeatedly. Like, they have money in mind, but definitely not your best interest. And I don't think this one is any different in that relation, but it's like, ooh, I'm curious as to how it goes wrong. Because there's definitely more to it than that. We got an auto crafter. And we got the blueprint I was hoping for. Yep, those can go in the other one. Oh, the one right beside it, actually. When my brain catches up. Is one of these empty? I'll put the fabric and this stuff together for now. That's plastics, yep. Stick the suit up here. I don't think that's enough room for all the suits, to be fair. I'll have to build a bigger one. That takes silicone. Huh. I want to say I thought it took iron. What does it take for one of these, though? Oh, stuff I already have. We're good. Okay, now I can grow the cocoa pod. Nope, I need seeds for that. Okay, that's right. Can't work just the bottom one. Okay. Well, that's a different problem for later. I need plenty of silicone. Then we'll get a railing done at least. And I need an extended... I have one more on this side with iron. Which, to be fair, I should have plenty of iron saved up. I think it's the silicone I can't mine up. I think it's technically kind of a different element, so I think I will do that. And that'll be the end of the building for today. And like I said, next week it should be a little bit longer playthroughs of this. This is a bit short. Even for me, so normally I was doing like 4 hours. I'm just kind of in that state of like, oh boy, you get used to the long stream times again. That and I think today's been a weird day as far as me being tired. Okay, now let's go do a second. Not quite what I wanted to do. Okay. Is what I might do. Kind of similar to what I did last time. And that is very uneven. That's not what I want. Okay, that's much better. Do it that way. I'm gonna eventually have to fix that, but I don't mind the gap as much as I was under it, because it still looks like it's a bit stable. Give or take. As long as it looks stable, I think we're okay. I just have to fix the bits that are kind of floating later. To be fair, they weren't there the last time I was messing with the build. Thus, they weren't really meant to be floating. There's supposed to be enough room, but I did kind of smush them in and add them. What room do I have? Enough for one more piece of silicone, but I need oxygen before that. It's not gonna be a very good day. So let's do that first. And then we can pop back out. Ooh, that's gonna be tricky, isn't it? Unless we see if we can make sure there's enough room by doing this. I don't think it'll also go quite as evenly, but I'm hoping basically the idea is that the overhang isn't as bad or as horribly noticeable doing it this way. Unless I just leave a little bit of a gap. I do have a little bit more iron. Get some more oxygen. Don't think I have any silicone in here, but it might be Good time to check. I don't. Okay. Take a little bit more. I need to go collect some more water. But once this is kind of built, then I can do some stuff with that and kind of add to it. At least that way, I've got my little porch with fencing. Or deck area, however you want to put it. With some fencing. It doesn't quite fit as well as I'd hoped, but it's working. We're making it work. Sometimes that's just about all you can do. Yeah, there's a bit more silicone. And that would be the last piece I need. Hopefully, at least. But we'll find out. There is another idea I have, but let's see if I can get... this to line up pretty well. Okay, there's a gap in that corner as well, so let's... do this again, because if I leave the gap on the other side, I can just scoot one of the flower planters over. Or something similar. Nope, CC, not right now. Sorry, kitty. Letting you on my desk, but I've got a mug full of coffee that I really don't want anywhere near my keyboard. And I know that she tends to just knock stuff out of her way, which, I mean, she's a cat, I don't blame her. It isn't her way. Nope. Cats. Do that, then do this, and put that back in there. Easy peasy. Oh, oxygen, so let me fix that problem real quick. Then I can do the other planter on the other corner here. A little bit of clipping nonsense, but the reality is, at least it works. Kind of didn't leave enough of a gap there. Which there's an easy way to fix that one. Pick these up again and create a little bit more of a gap. And then just move these two over. And that actually works quite well. Kind of deals with the issue of the gaps in the corners. Now I just have to actually put some furniture and stuff out here later. Like I can get a table put out there. Is that literally all it takes? It is. Nice. Like put some furniture around that, it'd be actually really nice. Isn't there a thing for outdoor lights? There is, and they are kind of expensive. Area lamp is cobalt plus magnesium? That was a bit more than that. Do that, because now I can see and copy and paste the color, that way they're the same color. Since it's not going to let me input hex codes, which, believe me, I would be utilizing that very quickly if I could. I know some furniture later on is colorable, but that is a different problem, because it's going to take some unlocks later on, if I remember right. Ooh, okay, we're starting to get into the purified atmosphere, which will be really nice. And very needed. I know it's going to be a little bit before farming plots. Because that's going to be an over here problem. Yeah, I can make the biolab. Biolab will be next time, because I need to actually get that built. But I'm gonna have to build another energy depot, kind of. Where is the farms? Okay, here's outdoor farms. Ooh, we have to get to insects first. Okay, that makes more sense. So it is going to be a little bit yet. I don't run straight to a wall. I forgot what the keys were. Okay, so control next time will let me move on a lot quicker. Get some building done in here. I give it a little life, and that is where we're going to end it for now, because it's been the 2 hours. I'm not going to give a big, long-winded send-off. Basically, I have the Etsy open now for some small things. It's basically keychains, interest item things. I said yesterday I was going to talk a little bit more about it. Big thing is just Discord. I will post some, hey, here's stuff that can be made. If this is interesting, let's do a vote on it, and I'll go from there. Subnautica is probably going to get bought this week, I think, because I just no luck getting it on sale, sadly. So I'm going to have to do one or the other. So I'm probably just going to have to buy it now. What else? Tomorrow's stream will either be late or a little early, because one of the games that I'm keeping an eye on is having a massive update. I'm going to want to do that as soon as possible, but I'm also not going to stream it because it happens to be Warframe. And my view on streaming Warframe is, as fun of a game as it is, as much as I love the game, if I start streaming Warframe, the downside is it's going to probably be the thing that people want to see more and more of, and it is a game that I have a very on and off relationship with. I play it for a while, do a whole bunch of grinding in it, and then I'm like, okay, time to take a break, go do another game until the next big update comes out, or until I'm craving the game again, because it's so very on and off, and I would not want to stream it regularly enough. There's too many things I want to stream, and I don't also enjoy some of the issues with multiplayer. Like, there are people who are gonna consider super controversial. I have the in-game voice stuff entirely turned off. If you're on your mic, I cannot hear you in a mission. I understand it makes it hard for Xbox and PlayStation players. I am sorry, it is irritating to hear somebody having a full on conversation, going after you for XYZ because they don't think you're playing the game right. Or my personal favorite, jump into a match and all you hear is chewing. So it stays off. Um, and I know there's a lot of people who'd be like, well, I want to do stuff with it in the game and I can't type, and I'm just like, yeah, I feel bad. It's just not happening. It's gonna stay muted. That aside, we'll see how tomorrow's stream goes. Otherwise, Assassin's Creed. Friday should be Lord Show. I do want to get that done this Friday because now there's the big new content out. Not that I can do it, but that's more. It's a level 160, and my closest is about a level 104. That is a bit of a jump. So, I want to continue on with the character I was playing because I have actually figured out the mechanic for the class, which I goofed because I thought it was like Runekeeper, and that's another class in that game, and it's not. It's an entirely different thing. Anyways, we'll get that worked on Friday. Assassin's Creed tomorrow, maybe. We'll put that one as a question mark. However, Thursday, definitely Assassin's Creed. And then I think that's just about how this week's gonna go. Next week is fine. The 20th is just gonna be the big stream. We'll see how that one goes as well. Depending if everything goes, it's still planned. I haven't heard otherwise. If for some reason it's canceled, then that's canceled as well. But I don't think so. I think it's just gonna go ahead. Anyhow, it was fun. I want to play some more of this. Definitely, I want to finish this. Actually, probably before I get into Subnautica, at least a good chunk of it. And I will see you all either tomorrow or Thursday. One of the two. But thank you for joining me. It was fun. I have a lot of fun with this game, to be fair. I am tired. My eyes are strained. Now that I'm not looking at the sharp colors, I'm okay. I think it might just be brightness or something. Now I'm fine. But we'll get back into it, do the longer streams for it. It's just going to take a bit. Anyways, thank you. I hope you join me again for this. And I cannot wait to actually continue this.